In the heart of Pennsylvania lies a town that shouldn't exist. Centralia, a place where the ground burns beneath your feet, where toxic gases seep through cracks in the earth, where an underground fire has raged for over 60 years. What started as a simple landfill fire in 1962 ignited an ancient coal seam beneath the town. Today, the fire burns across 400 acres, spreading deeper every year. Scientists say it could continue for another 250 years. Once a thriving coal mining town of over 1,000 residents, Centralia is now home to just a handful of people who refuse to leave. They live above an inferno, breathing toxic air, waiting for the ground to collapse beneath them. This is the story of America's burning town. May 27, 1962. It was Memorial Day weekend in Centralia, Pennsylvania. The town was clean, prosperous, home to over 1,000 coal miners and their families. That morning, the town council ordered the landfill cleanup. The plan was simple: burn the trash, then bury it. They'd done this before, every year, but this time was different. The fire was supposed to be contained. Instead, it slipped through an abandoned coal mine entrance and ignited a vast network of anthracite coal, seams that had laid dormant for decades. Anthracite coal burns hotter and longer than any other coal. Once ignited, it's nearly impossible to extinguish. Within days, the fire spread through the underground maze of old mine shafts. The ground began to heat up. Sinkholes appeared. Toxic carbon monoxide seeped into basements. The town tried to dig out the fire, spending $500,000 equivalent to $4 million today. But the fire was too deep, too widespread. It was already too late. For the first 20 years, Centralia residents hoped the fire would be stopped. They waited, they prayed, they protested. But in 1981, everything changed. A 12-year-old boy named Todd Dembowski fell into a sinkhole in his backyard. The ground suddenly gave way, revealing a chasm filled with scorching heat and toxic gases. Todd managed to grab onto exposed tree roots and pull himself out. If he'd fallen just a few feet deeper, he would have died instantly. That incident made national news. For the first time, America realized how dangerous Centralia had become. In 1984, Congress allocated $42 million to relocate the residents. The town was condemned. Houses were bought through eminent domain and demolished. But not everyone left. Some families refused to take the money. They'd lived in Centralia for generations. This was their home, fire or no fire. The government made a deal. Those who refused to leave could stay for the rest of their lives. But when they died, their properties would be seized and demolished. One by one, the town disappeared. Streets were torn up. Houses were bulldozed. Nature reclaimed the land. Today, Centralia is a ghost town with fewer than 10 residents. They live in the last remaining houses on the edge of town, surrounded by abandoned foundations and overgrown streets. The fire continues to burn. Over 400 acres of coal seams are aflame, some as deep as 300 feet below the surface. The fire spreads about 75 feet per year. Ground temperatures reach over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon monoxide levels are lethal in some areas. The ground is unstable. Sinkholes can open without warning. In 2013, the U.S. Postal Service revoked Centralia's zip code 17,927. The town officially ceased to exist on paper. But the remaining residents still refuse to leave. They know they're living on borrowed time. When they die, Centralia will finally become a ghost town in truth, not just in population. The last resident with legal rights to stay is 87-year-old Helen Gaherty. When she passes, the town will be completely abandoned. Centralia's tragedy inspired one of the most famous horror franchises in history, Silent Hill. In 1999, Konami released the first Silent Hill video game. The setting was eerily similar to Centralia, a small town consumed by fire, fog, and darkness, where reality bends and nightmares walk. The creators confirmed they drew inspiration from Centralia's story. The perpetual smoke, the abandoned streets, the sense of impending doom all taken from real life. Today, tourists visit Centralia to see the inspiration for Silent Hill. They walk Graffiti Highway, an abandoned stretch of Route 61 covered in spray paint and street art. They peer into the famous burning trench where flames and smoke rise from the earth year-round. They take photos beside the sinkholes and cracked pavement. But locals warn, the fire isn't a tourist attraction. It's a slow-moving disaster. Every year, the ground becomes more unstable. Every year, the danger increases. Centralia isn't a game. It's a warning. Centralia's fire will burn for centuries. Experts estimate it could continue for another 250 years, until it finally consumes all available coal or runs out of oxygen. The town serves as a monument to human error, to the power of nature, and to the stubbornness of those who call a place home. What began as a routine landfill fire became an unstoppable inferno. What was once a proud mining town is now a cautionary tale. The remaining residents know they're living in the final chapter of Centralia's story. When they're gone, the town will join the list of America's ghost towns, but the fire will remain, burning in the darkness, deep underground, waiting. Some say Centralia is cursed. Others say it's just bad luck and poor planning. But everyone agrees on one thing. Once the earth catches fire, there's no putting it out. Would you visit Centralia? Would you walk on ground that burns beneath your feet? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more dark history documentaries, subscribe and hit the bell. Some fires can't be extinguished. Some towns can't be saved.